everybody's doing well today. I hope I am too. But I took a little break as far as everything, been like a 2 week break, just to refreshen up on things and give it a little break. You know, but I'm back again, going every day, doing it stronger, trying to get it as good of a show as I expect it to be. So, hope that if you want to hit me up, mplsmikid at yahoo or gmail.com. Also, mplsmikid aka GOL if you want to hit me up on Twitter. And Aspect Slant of a Changing Man is the Facebook page for this podcast. Definitely hit up on there and like the page. All my episodes are on there if you want to listen to it and refresh yourself on any ideas. If you haven't heard any of the other episodes, that definitely gives you somewhere to go to look at the episodes and see if you want to see how you like those. Thank everybody for coming in today. I always do that twice. Today, I want to talk about some stuff as far as everything. Have you ever been punched in your stomach? That's my first question. Like, have you ever really been punched and you weren't really expecting the punch to come, so you weren't looking, and somebody just hit you in the stomach and you just had that pain and it really goes, it really hurts. For me, it's close to the same type of pain that I feel when I have shame or regret or vulnerability, when I really get hurt because I was vulnerable at the time. I made myself vulnerable to someone, and when it backfired, it really hurt. And I feel like that is a reason that people make excuses, especially with shame and regret, so they don't actually feel the full hit of shame or the full hit of regret. They make excuses about why it happened, or they make some kind of accusation to where they don't feel the full hit of it. It's not like you can sit here and say, I got caught doing something, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again, and actually feel the pain of actually going through that. A lot of people make an excuse. Well, this is what happened, or somebody did this, and or just blaming it on the situation. And it basically is like a protection, especially with vulnerability. You don't want to feel vulnerable, so you do something to where if it backfires for you being vulnerable, you could say, okay, at least I did that. At least, before it was to happen, I made sure to protect myself by doing this. Like in my cheating days, I definitely thought that I was protecting myself by cheating first. If I was going to get cheated on, I might as well do it first, because if I do, then when I do get cheated on, I don't look stupid. That's what I felt when I was doing it back then. I feel like a lot of people will do anything to not feel that pain. They will do whatever they can to not feel that pain, even to, hurt somebody else. To blame somebody that they don't want to blame just so they can get away with the crime that they committed. Not saying the actual crime, but, the wrongdoing that they did. I feel like it's a protection against that. I feel like there's a room that everyone has inside of them. And in that room, it's full of mirrors. It's full of mirrors and it's full of dirt. And, just to think about it, when you step in that room, you have to actually look at yourself. You actually have to look at yourself, and you have to look at that dirt and say that's a part of me. And a lot of people don't want to open that door to there because it goes against who they are. It goes against their pride. It goes against, what they stand for. It goes against something they did, that they knew was wrong, but they still decided to do it. So they can't go inside that room. They can't open the door to that room. They have to keep it closed. They have to keep it protected so that nobody sees that room. Because a lot of people want to open the door to a room that, it seems like it's not supposed to be open. So I feel like, people will do whatever to hide that room. If they have shame, if they have regret, if they have, something that's happened to them in the past, they have bad memories, something where they have to open up. They actually have to open up and say, well, I went through this, or this is me, or this is a part of me. I've been blamed for stuff that I've been blamed for something that someone else was doing to me. They didn't want to say they did it, so they would blame it on me that I did it. And it was like, it was a defense mechanism against themselves. It's basically saying, I'm going to blame you for what I am. Because if I don't see the wrong, I never did it. If you're the one doing it, then there's no reason for me to see my wrongdoings. So they blame it on the other person. They find an excuse like, let me break down what I think that an excuse is. It's a statement made to protect the person again, to get an okay for their continuance to do it. When I was younger, I got in trouble and I lied. And my mom would say, why'd you lie to me? And I would say, I'm scared. And she would say, well, basically what you're saying is that every time that you're scared, you're going to lie? Because that's basically what I was doing. I was asking for an excuse of me being able to do that again. So when, the next time I lied because I was scared, hopefully it was okay. I look at a lot of police officers when they shoot somebody. They were saying that they're scared. They were scared. I was in fear for my life. So I shot the person that was unarmed. To me, that's basically saying every time that you're fearful for your life from a person that doesn't have a weapon, that we should be okay with you shooting them, even though they don't have a weapon. When you cheat in a relationship, when a person gets caught cheating in a relationship, then they say something like, you weren't there, I needed you to be there, and you weren't. That's basically saying, okay, every time that I'm not there, that you're going to go find, you're going to go find, something in someone else. Oh, she was a hoe. Well, basically, every time somebody's a hoe, you're going to do what you do. It's, I know I'm going to, with too many examples, but at the same time, I'm just trying to give you I'm trying to give you the pinpoint of where I'm trying to take it. And, because that's what it basically is. It's like asking for a continuance in what you're doing. It's asking for an okay for a continuance in what you're doing. Do I think it's right? No. I've changed a lot of my ways. I've actually am okay with making myself vulnerable in a relationship because I shouldn't be scared. I shouldn't be fearful that my partner is going to do something wrong where I regret it. Regret being vulnerable. You know, a lot of times I was not doing the right things and I tried to do something else to make it so that they would, the situation was controllable and not in violence, but, in other type of situations, but still was wrong. I could have did other things, basically to prove that, in my fear, I was able to handle it in the right way. I believe if I were to go, buy some flowers or, buy a card or write a letter or even just let them know how much I value them, it could have been a way better situation. But because I thought that, in fear I should handle it in another way, it definitely messed up the way the person thought about me, especially when they started to see what it was. And that right there caused shame and that caused regret because I did it in the wrong type of way. I actually had um, my last episode was about regret, and I could definitely tell you that in those times it hurts because you have to think about all the situations that can happen now since you didn't do it the right way the first time. Now that somebody else is probably doing it the way that you were supposed to be. So in that I had to learn humility. I had to learn how to humble myself to be able to understand these situations. A lot of people's pride will stop them from being able to understand what can make a situation better. It will stop them from being able to handle a situation better because they have pride. A lot of people won't want to face themselves. That room could be the room that I was talking about earlier that a lot of people don't want to go in is a room that will humble you. Is a room that will, that will teach you humility. And I think a lot of people can go in that room. I had to step in that room and it hurt to be in there. It hurt to be in there to look at all this stuff and pick up all the dirt and, all the mess that was up in there. All the messes that I made myself, that I decided to put inside of myself. I had to clean that out. I had to remake that room into something that was representable. I've had a lot of hurtful things happen to me in my life, but I can't let those things be my excuse to why I do wrong to others. I gotta learn to do the right things, because that's only gonna be a reason to blame something I could blame it on to continue to doing wrong. But if I don't want to do wrong, if I don't want to do those things, I have to be able to look and say these things are wrong. If every light at the on the street light is green,